Yo, Vader Games in the building. Vader Games TV presenting to you Why Always Me, another episode 11, I have to say. And you already know this episode is going to be straight energy from beginning to end. I don't even know where to start, but I took time to kind of think about it. And we're just going to have to jump right into it because the energy, the excitement is just too much right now. It's too much right now. Viewers, thanks for all the support. Thanks for the comments from last week. Always looking to improve in the show. First thing I got to tell you right from the jump is, if you're new to the channel, if you're just stumbling onto this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, depending on what platform you're on. Definitely support the channel with a comment, share, and like. You know what the like does, really gets the word out there so the channel can grow. Always appreciated. I have so much to talk about. Let's get some gunshots in here. Okay. Ooh. You guys know, and if you don't know, my name is Vader Games. I'm a Man City fan, and if you follow football, if you follow soccer, no matter where you are in the world, you know what it is. You know what just happened this week. Champions League football just happened. Man City made history playing against PSG to qualify for its first Champions League final. Amazing gunshots. Okay. Hey, you know what? You got to ring the alarm. Whoa. Hey. All right. Here's what's happening. Let's get the comments going. Let's get the topics going. Champions League semifinal drama was real. Like I said, Manchester City playing against PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah, I got a little French in me. Did their thing in terms of an exciting game, in terms of like first leg, second leg. All right. Man City did what they had to do. They scored 2 away goals on the first leg, and it was 2-1 leading into the second leg at home. Etihad, Manchester City. It was straight drama from the jump. Straight drama because a couple things. Neymar was on the other side of the field. Mbappe was on the other side of the field. Unfortunately, he was hurt. He didn't play the game. But when you have the likes of Mbappe, and I talked about this last episode, when you have the likes of Mbappe, Neymar, and Di Maria up front, attackers, there's always a dangerous threat. And you also had Marquinhos, who's an aerial threat for PSG. It was drama leading into it, a lot of nerves, especially because it was uncharted territory. And I've talked about this before. It was uncharted territory for Man City. Let me make sure all my levels are right before I just go off on a rant here. But there were nerves, obviously. Pep has been to Champions League finals before. He knows what to expect. He knows how to get the team set up, and he's shown a tendency to kind of overthink those moments because he knows the severity and how intense those matches are. However, he was then setting up Man City new to all of this. Man City's made it to the semifinals before, but that was under Pellegrini. All right. This squad of players have had the heartbreak of not advancing as far as expectations for themselves as well as the football world. So they had that as a motivation. But this was tense for players, managers, and fans. Trust me. Now the match was nerve-wracking, to be honest with you, because like the first leg, PSG had a lot of attack early into the match. Okay, early into the game, you knew how Pochettino had them set up to attack City, and gotta admit there was a lot of nerves. However, Man City showed up. Man City dealt with the pressure and applied their own pressure. And amazing attack plans that were developed through Pep and the squad in terms of how they wanted to attack, whether it was through the channels, attack on the counter, or even over the top, which led to the first goal. All right, amazing first goal over the top. Ederson should deserve a lot more credit for that. He had a hockey assist, but he created that whole opportunity, and Mahrez did his thing and put that ball away. But Ederson, Zinchenko, Mahrez, De Bruyne having the shot been blocked, and then obviously landing to Mahrez's foot, and he puts it away. That was the first goal, and then it was steady City for the majority of the game. The reason why, I gotta also say this, the reason why there was so much nervousness and intensity in the match is because Pep's had the teams playing well before. Pep's had a lot of outside expectations on him to succeed because of how well he's had the team play in the domestic league or even in the tournament itself. But coming into the latter stages, the quarterfinals, he's fallen short. Okay, so Pep had unfinished business for past losses with regards to City, and it was so gratifying for Mahrez to get that second goal, and for City to put PSG to bed and to set their sights on Champions League final. It was an amazing, as a City fan, if you're a football fan, period, the further your team advances within a tournament, it's amazing memories. It's amazing memories. So I know the millions and millions of Man City fans out there had a memorable night. History in the making. History in the making. Okay, so I think Pep still has more to do. Man City still has more to do, right? And the reason why this is so special, it's so memorable in terms of how it's being done, is because Man City's doing it like as a complete team. If you really step back and look at it, they're doing it without a true striker. And they've been doing it like that for a minute now. So gotta give big props to what the team's doing, because it is a team approach on offense as well as defense. It's a complete team in terms of not just looking to out possession or outscore teams, but actually also in instances where you are taking chances at scoring, you're not so fearful of a counter or any attacking threats because there is a sound defense. Now, you don't want to create opportunities to be attacked on, but in the event that you've got a sound back four back there. And I can't praise the back four enough. From Kyle Walker to John Stones, resurrected in terms of players, or sorry, not players, but fans wanting him out of City, to him being a great tandem with Ruben Diaz. And I'll be the first to admit, Zinchenko had me nervous out there just because of the speed potential from PSG. Obviously, with Mbappe being hurt, that changed the dynamic of things. But Zinchenko showed that he's got the football IQ to not necessarily put himself into dangerous positions. I mean, there's some instances where you are holding your breath because he is out of position and you're worried about pace. But in terms of what he was doing with possession of the ball, and like I mentioned earlier, what he did for that first goal, bravo. I'm giving him props. Man, this is going to be this. I know rivals watching this are probably not going to like the smiles and the energy right now, but I don't care. All right. Okay. Next up, we got to talk about. Oh yeah, my nervousness with Zinchenko had me thinking of what the starting 11 would have been for the second leg, and I actually envisioned the exact same 11, but I was actually suggesting that maybe a Gundogan would be subbed on, or even a Foden would be subbed on, just because of how much chasing PSG would have had to do, and having dead legs and maybe bringing on another creative midfielder, someone holding possession, someone being able to attack the channels, even attacking with pace, might have really opened up the game, right? But there's a reason why I'm not a manager. That's the reason why Pep is. Pep kept the exact same 11, with the exception of he started Zinchenko instead of Cancelo. That was surprising to me. And he had Fernandinho start instead of Rodri. And And I wasn't so nervous about that change because Fernandinho, he's the ultimate captain for the squad this year. Veteran. He's been there from very early on with regards to the squad. He's seen the leadership that a Vincent Company has provided, that a Yaya Toure has provided to the club, and he's filling those shoes easily. And what he's doing and what he's done gave stability to the squad. And again, the force is strong with Fernandinho. So what he was able to do in terms of be in the right position, push certain players off the ball, slowing down the game in a sense, he was absolutely perfect for the moment. I would expect him to start for the final. And I'm going to talk about the final in future shows, so I don't want to go down the line just yet. But Fernandinho was absolutely amazing, and that leadership in terms of knowing the importance of the match was key. And Pep had the starting 11 bang on. Everybody showed up to play, kept a clean sheet. It was amazing what they were able to do. More shots. Now, if any City fan told you that they were absolutely confident, had no worries leading into the semifinal, power to them. I've said this numerous times. PSG just had so much talent over there. That how confident could you be? But with PSG having been to the final last year, right? PSG having been to the final last year, and we've seen this in many different sports. The team that doesn't make it, two things either happen, right? The team that doesn't win it, two things either happen. One, they come back the next year with a vengeance, right? All they see is the end of the finish line. All they want to do is get to where they didn't get the previous year. Or the squad completely falls off, right? They just don't have the motivation anymore. Been there, done that. And they kind of have that give up mentality. PSG showed all signs that they were the team that wanted what they missed out on last year. They wanted to get to this Champions League final, and I thought that motivation, that energy was going to be the tricky part with regards to Man City. However, when you take into account that, yes, you have a team that didn't make it to the final, you also had a manager that was new to that team, though. So that same burning desire, or that same hole that's left in the heart because the team fell so short, was kind of missing from a managerial standpoint. And I said this already, with Man City having fallen short so many years prior to that, that motivation was definitely there with this squad and with the manager. That was all there. They all had the same heartbreak. I think there was that disconnect with regards to manager and player, and edge went to City. Thank goodness, but the edge went to City. And like PSG being last year's Champions League finalists didn't prove to matter versus City. with the new manager at PSG, and the new manager being Pochettino, there has to be tons of questions on Pochettino. Like, the criticism has to be there. And I'm not even just going to talk with regards to the Champions League, because he was brought in. He was brought in not only to win Ligue 1, but also to make it further than Tuchel in the Champions League. And he was not able to do that. And he's under serious fire. He's not going to get fired, but he's under serious heat to win Ligue 1. Right? And that actually played a huge part in why I think this second leg in the Champions League was so good for City, because he couldn't fully rotate his squad with regards to the domestic league. He had to play the big guns. He had to play them because he's in a title race in that league. So, and that as a result of that, there was a little nick on Mbappe. Mbappe couldn't play, so it wasn't a full strength PSG team up against City. But really, what is the standard for Pochettino? I know there's a lot of fans, you hear it. Whether you're listening to some of these sport talk shows, you have some of your favorite YouTubers or some of your favorite channels that you kind of tune in and listen to. There's a huge portion of Man U fans in particular that wanted Pochettino as their manager to replace Ollie. A huge portion of that. And what's funny is you could see that they wanted Pochettino to actually win the PSG to kind of justify them wanting him at their club. I wonder if that sentiment, if those speaking points of that desire, if that mentality is still going to remain there because of how he fell short with PSG. And again, there really shouldn't be any huge criticism of Poch, because I think we would all agree that Man City was the better team. Although fully strength, I think you're kind of splitting hairs, though. I think you're splitting hairs, and it's just a matter of how you want to set the team up for success. But Pochettino has a lot of questions, a lot of tough questions that he's going to need to answer, and he is still in a domestic title race for Ligue 1. So let's see what he does. I already know the rival talks that are going to come out if he does not win the domestic title. Oh my gosh. The timelines are going to be vicious. They're going to be vicious if he doesn't win. I'm glad he lost against us, though. All right. This is real. This is real, and I got to talk about it. And I hope all you young football players hear this. All you young, just players in general, sports, just listen to this, okay? Listen to this. So Neymar Jr., his player mentality to be the man, you got to admire, right? You want a player to have confidence in themselves, them believing that they can be the absolute best on a team. But there's a point where that mentality goes wrong, because one player will never be better than a better team. One great player versus a great team will never win. Will never win. And when you really think about it, there's not a player on Man City that is at the level of Neymar. Kevin De Bruyne is great, don't get me wrong, but he's not at the level of Neymar. He's not at the level of Neymar. And when you have surrounding teammates that don't have to force you to put the team on your back and to carry every element of the game, you're going to do better. You're going to do better for yourself, longevity, and just overall success. Because listen, young players, no matter what sport it is, you're always going to get criticized. Always. Hear me clearly. Hear me clearly. You're always going to get criticized for losing, even if you put up numbers. Trust me on this one. You putting up numbers is still going to get criticism if you lose. If you go through your career and you're the one that, and I'm going to keep this just football related, you're the one that's either providing the goals, or you're able to be the best player on your team. So again, you have more goals per individual, like you versus another teammate. But you as the player are not able to, like, obviously carry the team and win, because you need a team to win, right? You're going to get the criticism. Your career is going to get that one, it's going to have that major fault to it because you weren't a winner, right? We hear it everywhere. We hear it everywhere in football, right? Messi, as great as he is, where do they take shots of him? They take shots at him for not winning a World Cup, right? As good as Neymar has been, and winning at Barcelona, fantastic. Leaving Barca to be the man at PSG, and again, only able to win the domestic title, is where he gets tremendous criticism, because he's not doing it at the Champions League level, which is where the other contemporary players of his generation have been able to do it, because they've done it with a squad, right? It's better to be the best player on a team of other great players. Because if you're the man, and this is what I would tell young Vader if I could go back in time, right? If I could go back in time, or to talk to the next generation, right? If you have that mentality to be the man, right? Don't go out and be the man alone. Go out and be the man on a team that has other really good or great men as well. Be better than all of them. And then you get your props anyways. That's how you do it. So this upcoming generation, like the Haalands, the Sanchos, the the Mbappes, hear this clearly. You have to make decisions to put yourself in a position to be on great teams, right? Cristiano Ronaldo leaving Man U to go to Real Madrid. You understand it. It wasn't like he was going to teams that weren't surrounded by other great players, but he was still the best player on that team, right? Obviously, Messi going through the program, he's at Barca, but again, as great as the players surrounding him were, he was still the best player amongst them. And I think, yes, Neymar got the bag. Don't get me wrong. Neymar left, he got the bag. But is that bag worth not being seen or remembered, put in that category? Like, can you put a price on that category of the best of the best? And had he remained, think about it, had he remained at Barca at this point, maybe a year or two ago, he'd be seen as the man. Messi obviously has fallen off. He's not at the same level that he's been. So Neymar remaining at Barca, is he the man now? I would say yes. And I know patience is wasted on the youth. Is that how it goes? I think that's how it goes. I think patience is wasted on the youth. That's who they need to have it. Young players out there, you need to have it. Look at the situation. I would encourage the Haalands, the Mbappes, the Sanchos, play it smart. Play it smart. Get yourself to a good team because you can be the greatest player. You can be the best player on that team. That's how you should approach it. Man, I spent a lot of time talking about that. And as I was saying, and we're talking about Mbappe as well with regards to what Neymar did. And hopefully Mbappe's learning from Neymar, obviously, in terms of talent, ball control, skills, being a magician, you know what I mean? Wizardry, manipulating the ball, sorcery, whatever you want to call it. Neymar has it. Hopefully Mbappe is learning that. And Mbappe should also learn on the approach with regards to surrounding yourself by other equally or as close as possible talent like yours. Because you could in a team game like football, you can easily be focused on or targeted, getting the attention of 2-3 other players and not being able to actually express yourself on the pitch because you have so much attention from the other players, right? With Mbappe not playing in this second leg against Man City was actually able to key to you saw Fernandinho see wherever Neymar was, Fernandinho was just right there. And you're able to key on one player and then actually shut him down. You need that overall support. Okay? I watch a lot of sports, NBA, NFL, obviously football. And if you're only able to have a team with 1 or 2 stars and the supporting cast, the supporting players really aren't at that level, a really well-run, managed team can shut that 1 or 2 stars down. You need to be surrounded by quality in every position. Hopefully Mbappe learns and he sees, he learns from the greats before him, the greats that have succeeded and the greats that have failed, and doesn't put himself in a situation to kind of have similar results. Let's get some shots. Ooh, I love this portion of the show. It's kind of like I told you so, but not really, because I don't really need to do that. And I do that enough in my chat groups and when I'm gaming with the fellas in the IEGA, FIFA 21 League. I do enough of that. But I'm talking to Man City rivals right now. All of the Man City rivals questioning Pep for bringing on Mahrez, having him come to City, and he's coming with no guaranteed, starts or play time. You know what I mean? As I was just talking about in terms of surround yourself with greatness. Surround yourself with greatness because that will force you to sink or swim. It will force you to either elevate your game and prove that you are the greatest amongst the great in your squad, in your team, or it will it will bring you to reality and show you that you aren't, unfortunately, you aren't as great as you think you are. And it is what it is, right? Challenge yourself with greatness. Don't be the big fish in a little pond. Neymar showed why he needed to be with Man City. His success at Leicester, amazing. Between him, Vardy, and Conte, those guys were no joke with regards to that EPL winning season. But him moving on, obviously Conte moved on to Chelsea, but Riyad Mahrez moving on to Man City showed that it was a really good decision. And in terms of proving to the world, proving that he deserves the playing time, when he came to the squad that had Sane, Sterling, Jesus, Bernardo Silva, and himself, he showed I deserve my playing time. I deserve to be one of the first names on that call sheet. So he is proving why he made such a wise decision. He was instrumental in the Champions League. He's been key, and it's not over. It is not over. It's not over. Oh, this had me laughing. This had me laughing. And I don't know. I I don't know how he does it. Jose Mourinho, another fire, another hire. He's the new manager at Roma. I don't know what to say. If you guys follow me, if viewers, if following me on Twitter, you know that I posed a question. Is Jose been elite, still elite? And I said it with a little bit of us being a little, I don't know, a little salty, I guess, by posing, has he been elite? I was wrong to do that. Jose has been elite, but he hasn't been elite for a long time now. He hasn't been. I think the writing was on the wall in terms of he hasn't kept himself as sharp. He hasn't updated his approach to football, player management, even evolved with regards to his tactics since the last firing at Chelsea. So, I mean, firing at Chelsea, firing at Man U, firing at Tottenham Spurs, and now job at Roma. I'm gonna wish the best to Roma as a squad. I do appreciate the history of that club, and Edin Dzeko's over there, former City player. So I want to wish them the best, but I don't know, man. Maybe is it the drama that they want? Is it the Jose Mourinho drama that Roma wants? The spotlight with regards to what he brings attention wise? Because he did not look good at Tottenham. But we'll see. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of Jose being so quick to being fired and hired. It's absolutely amazing. Serious comment. Serious topic here. Serious topic here. EPL fan protest, owners out. I admire all the fans that are showing their frustration with, I guess, club management, club ownership. I think as a fan base, you definitely have to express, your dislikes, because ultimately you're the consumer. So I think you should definitely get that message out there, so that whether it's the owner, whether it's management, even with regards to how often or how directly fans message, clubs via social media or even players, I think you definitely need to get your message out there. However, I don't know if it's going to make a difference. And I say that only because I don't think it's going to make a difference with regards to getting the owners out. All right. I don't think that the protests will actually move to get the owners out. Um, fan protests for Man U, Arsenal, Liverpool. It won't. I hate to be the one to say this. It won't get the owners out because it's the business, right? These owners aren't making these decisions emotionally. They're making these decisions from a business standpoint. But I do think that these protests, I do think that expressing the dislikes with regards to ownership movements, club, that it's going to have an effect with how they do run the club. I think it will make them make changes. It will have them um, it will have them make smarter decisions, even with regards to signings, but also just be smarter with regards to even like manager hires. To tell you the truth, but the ownership, man, how do you tell someone? How do you tell someone to give up that they what they own? Right? Like, I, it's too profitable. It's too profitable, and they also. I know that the approach with regards to attacking some of the sponsors and some of that negative attention that's being received. These owners also know that it can turn around just as quickly as it can. It can turn around in a positive way just as quickly as it's kind of turned bad with regards to sponsors or approval ratings and things of that nature. So to get these owners to actually give up on their business, I don't see it. I know I'm going to get a lot of dislikes from this, but I just don't see it. In particular, are Man U fans spoiled um, or unrealistic in the world of business? Man U fans are definitely spoiled. When you have 25 years with Sir Alex Ferguson and the amount of winning that they've done, winning league titles 3 years in a row, having pretty much won every trophy case. Yes, they're spoiled. You're gonna have a portion of the fan base they're just spoiled because they've had so much winning. If they were to put on the shoes of almost any other rival club fan, they would know how difficult things are. But as a fan, you don't need to have that reality. You don't have to have that. You can't be that logical because you're a fan. That's just how it works. But I think the demands that are happening out there, if it's for the club to be run better, all for it. Protest, that can be done. If it's for ownership to give up their ownership of the club, don't see that happening. It just makes way too much money, and in the world of business, is not realistic. It's not realistic. Man U, if I understand this right, Man U, despite how bad it's been run and how unsuccessful it's been with regards to trophies recently, they're still, I think, the number one valued club in the world, football club in the world. So, as bad as it is from a fan base standpoint, from a commercial standpoint, um, visibility, market share, Man U is the standard. Why would the Glazers, as bad as all that's been, give up on a cash cow like that? It's not going to happen. Now, demand for them to run the club better, demand for them um, to put more with regards to getting the club at a point of winning. Totally on board with that. Totally on board with that. And here's where it's a little tricky. And I would ask you, Man U fans, to maybe inform me. But as I don't think there's one thing you can. I don't think Man U fans can argue that Man U hasn't spent to be on par or better in the EPL, in Champions League. Now, the talent that they've assessed, the the business approach with regards to timeliness in terms of acquiring talent or maybe getting rid of talent with regards to the team. Yes, all that you're right in terms of criticizing them for. However, because they've actually spent to win, it's a difficult debate. It's a difficult conversation. It's really, you're really then having a difficult time to really justify what you want change by the club. And maybe the club recently with regards to the firing of Ed Woodward and director of football and what is it, director of player personnel, all making all those changes to be smarter as a business, as a football business, makes sense. How do you argue that they're not doing enough to win? I don't know how you do that. You criticize bad decisions, absolutely, but in terms of the structure, every fan base is going to criticize what the club does. You're going to have half the fan base saying that's a great hire. You're going to have the other half saying that's a poor hire. I don't know how you get this done, Man U fan. I'm sorry. I had a conversation a couple episodes back when we were talking about the Super League, right? And we know we're looking right now at the Europa. We're looking at Champions League. The fact that there's so much English football club dominance, and then I'm not talking English football with regards to English players and English, obviously, no English managers and things of that nature. I'm not talking that, but I'm talking because of the dominance with regards to the EPL and its representation within Europe. You can see that one, the EPL is getting the talent, whether it's manager, whether it's players, and as a result, they're having more success competing against the rest of the clubs in Europe. And I think the writing was on the wall why the Super League was being created, because again, the Super League did have 6 teams coming out of the EPL, and that's where the power lies, right? I think the La Ligas, I think we had Serie A and we had La Liga. I think they were seeing that, whoa, we've got a monster building here, or the monster's already been established, and if we don't do something, we're gonna be out of the mix. So I think that was a big part of sparking with regards to the Super League, and you're kind of seeing the aftermath definitely this year with how strong the English teams are and where the managers have kind of migrated, and what's happening with regards to the EPL. I've said this before. I know many disagreed with me because they're so tied to the old ways of things. They're so tied to how they kind of fell in love with football. But because I consume so much sport content, right? I'm a true athlete by nature. I'm a true sports fan, and the EPL and how it's forming right now is amazing to me. It could be scary to some, but it's actually amazing. It's amazing to look at the landscape of teams, and in no particular order, you can look like modern day EPL teams. Team challenges it's going to be sick next year, right? We don't know what's going to happen in the transfer window, but just based off of the ups and downs with regards to teams and the standings this year, you've got Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Manchester United, Leicester, Everton, Arsenal, West Ham. You got Leeds, and I'm sure there's going to be one or two other clubs that are going to like jump in there or fall out from the names that I just mentioned. But to have a weekend where you're going to tune in and watch some football and you're not sure if it's going to be a clear out win or even a draw or possibly a loss is great. The uncertainty is what's great for sport. Because yes, the big clubs may not like it, the fan base may not like it, but the fact that there's a come up from other clubs that are trying to rival or trying to challenge, it is great. Absolutely great. And the closer the EPL can get to that, whether it's investment from new ownership or even just an approach with regards to smart management, the fact that you're going to have more than the quote unquote top four or big six battling is going to be great for the EPL. And 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 again, a lot of losses amongst those teams doesn't mean that it's a bad league. Doesn't mean that it's poor performance. If the points tally, if you look at the column and the points tally isn't like in the 90s with regards to the leader of the EPL, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's about how the games are challenged throughout the season that's going to make it amazing. I hope football fans can see that and recognize that, because it's not about one or two teams killing the rest. It's about the quality of football. And if a team that can be fourth or fifth in the standings can then be, one of the top teams in Europa or even challenging in the Champions League, that's great. That's great. Ooh, this is gonna spark something. Who knows what's going to be happening with regards to this second leg in the Europa, and actually, that's going to be starting shortly, so I won't be talking much longer. Got to tune in and check that out. But listen, Arsenal fans, if Arteta wins the Europa and you don't understand how he did it, like you think he got lucky or you think he fell into it, regardless, and maybe it's because he's a former Man City assistant. Um, you have to trust it. It it may be like one of those. I don't know how he's doing it. I can't put my finger on it. He makes too many mistakes throughout the regular season, but if it comes down to crunch time, if it comes down to semis and finals, and he's getting it done, you got to trust the manager. I know it's going to kill a lot of you guys because there's a lot of you fans out there that don't talk like fans. There's a lot of you fans that I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of you fans that will die on the hill. You'll have that agenda, whether you're saying manager out or you killed a player, saying that they're trash, and you will die on that stance. No matter how much they improve over the season or throughout a year or several years, you're going to stay true to what you first said because you have to be right. Unfortunately, that's you see that a lot with regards to social media, having to be right. So no matter what evidence you see in front of yourself, you're not going to change your mind. But if Arteta pulls this off, oh man, the timelines are going to be fun to watch. They're going to be fun to watch. And I'm just going to be sitting back because it's Europa Thursdays. It's fun to watch. You know what? I asked this question and I got a pretty good answer from a few and some not so honest answers in my opinion. But Man U fans, let's be real here. At this point, right now, okay, before the Europa semifinals and final, okay, at this point, has Pogba's career, has his return to Man U, has it been a success? Please let me know in the comments. Has Pogba's career since returning to Man U been a success? And if it hasn't, if he wins the Europa, will that then make his time returning to Man U a success? Okay. If it hasn't been a success so far, okay. Does you winning a Europa title, does that make it a success? Let me know. If he still has more to do for it to be a successful career at Man U, let me know what that needs to be. All right. I believe that he's in the works of possibly extending his contract or extending the terms of and remaining at Man U. What does he need to do? What would have to be done while at Man U for it to be considered a career? I mean, a successful career. Would it have to be 1 EPL title, 2 EPL titles, 1 EPL title, and maybe knockout stage of the Champions League? I don't know. Let me know. The talent of Pogba's level, I'm very curious, and I've had this question for a few rival fans that I obviously that I talked to, because in my opinion, Pogba made a mistake returning to Man U. Unfortunately, for the level of his talent, and I've talked about this previously on the show before as well. I think Pogba fans should want him to go. I don't think he's surrounded by the talent that's required for him to be successful. I kind of talked about this earlier. Leaving to be the man, I don't think is ever the right mentality. I think you should leave to. I think you should leave to build a squad, build a successful squad, or atmosphere and environment, not just to be the man. Because as good as Pogba is, he needs to be surrounded by equal or better talent, and obviously not better talent by position, but better talent with regards to other positions. If that makes sense. Oh, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. This is missed by so many. This has been missed by so many. If you are on any timelines right now, if you're watching any of the sport analyst shows, this is comical to me. Chelsea fans have been they justify Timo Werner's lack of scoring. All right. They've been justifying his quality the same way Liverpool's were, justifying or debating or arguing that Roberto Firmino was valuable or so key, even though he wasn't scoring. All right, it's funny to me. It's funny to me, and all you Chelsea rival fans, point that out to him. All right, point that out to him that what they're doing is crazy. We were all killing Liverpool fans for Fabinho's lack of goal scoring. And the same has to be done to Werner. Same has to be done. Oh, you know what? I'm actually saving a couple of the shots that I have. I'm saving a couple of the shots because there's 2-3 weeks leading into the Champions League final. So I can't fire all the shots right now versus Chelsea, because we're going to be seeing them in the Champions League final. And speaking of that, there's a couple of Chelsea fans that I would love to have, not necessarily a preview show, but I'd love to have a couple of conversations on Why Always Me, just talking about the season, talking about leading into the Champions League. I think would be great. But for you rival Chelsea fans, just chill. Chelsea's doing their thing. Tuchel's just got on board. They just fired Lampard, right? Tuchel's doing his thing, all right? And it's very impressive. It's very impressive. But take comfort, rival Chelsea fans. Take comfort knowing that managers don't last at Chelsea. They don't. It's in their DNA. Managers don't last long at Chelsea. So they'll do their thing. They'll win, or they'll challenge for the FA Cup, and I'm going to talk about this, but they're gonna lose to City in the Champions League, and then next year, yes, they will contend. They'll probably spend big this summer as well. They will contend, but you only have to worry about that for maybe a year or two. Tuchel has a short-term contract for a reason. That's the business that Chelsea does. But whatever the success is, once there's a slight slip from Tuchel, he's out of there. You know he's gone. So just chill. Chelsea fans, enjoy the moment. That's what you guys do. It's how it is. I'm not upset with that. I'm actually not criticizing it. It's how you guys have been successful. Since new ownership. All right, that's how you guys move. I'm cool with that. But rival fans, if you guys are stressing like, oh my gosh, Chelsea's gonna be dominating for the next 10 years. Nah. Don't worry. Don't worry. Tuchel's got 2 years, maybe 3, and then he's out of here. All right, he's gonna do something wrong. I mean, he's gonna be out of the top. He's gonna be out of the top 8 by week 6 into a season, and then he's gonna get fired. He's gonna get sacked. It's just how Chelsea does. So don't worry. Don't worry about that. All right. Don't worry about that. Take it easy. No need to get upset. And this is a new segment that I want to add to the show just to sign off. All right. Um, you know, it's something that I just definitely want to share with y'all. Maybe there's going to be some likes. Maybe there's going to be some cheers and some likes. Maybe, maybe there might be some boos. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't actually like the segment. Who knows? All right, you guys let me know. But YouTubers, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. Man U fans, listen to me clearly. Listen to what I am about to say. All right, all you Ollie outers, chill, be patient. Because like I was just saying earlier, managers don't last at Chelsea. 2-3 years max. All right, they don't last. All right, what just happened? How long was Lampard there? Less than 2 years. How long was Mourinho there? All right. How long was the previous manager and the manager before him and the manager before him? You know what I'm saying? So just chill. Okay. Rival fans, just chill. Man U fans in particular, you guys want a world-class manager. You want a manager that's going to have, quote unquote, a style of play, tactical, being a tactical genius. You guys are going to want that type of manager. Just wait in the wings. Put aside the bread. Put that aside. Just get ready to pay out. And as soon as Tuchel is fired from Chelsea, you guys do the same viciousness, as respectful as you can to Ollie. You let Ollie go. You acquire Tuchel. All right? Thomas Tuchel will become the next Man United manager. You heard it here first. All right? It's not a long game. Dealing with anything with regards to Chelsea, it's not a long game. You just need to be patient. All right? If you guys still want Pochettino, maybe you hold off on that. But I think you guys will make Tuchel your next manager. All right? Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Vader Games, Why Always Me, episode 11. Again, thank you for the support and the comments. Hit me up. I'm going to chop this up. Hopefully you guys are able to take some bite-sized pieces of the show if you happen to miss it live. And you know what? Man U, Arsenal, Europa, go out, do your thing. Make it an all-English final in the Europa, the same way it's an all-English final in the Champions League. Future shows are going to be talking about Chelsea and what the expectations are and how City's going to be approaching things. We face Chelsea on the weekend. That's a light match. Not even worried about that. Champions League is what's most important. But continue to support the Ting. Hope you enjoyed everything. This is what we do. That's what we do. We got to sign off. And here we go. That was a flawless victory. Much respect.